It's as the title says, because YouTube have upped the requirements to get into the YouTube Partner Program. It's now 8,000 hours watch time per year. And if you don't make the 8,000 hours per year, then you get demonetized. A few years ago, my channel was demonetized because, one, I didn't know this, but I wasn't making the 4,000 hours a year. And I looked at my stats last week and I make 300 hours of watch time. If you have watched, you probably still get adverts, but I don't get any of that. Just because you see adverts on a channel doesn't mean it's monetized by the creator. So all the money goes to YouTube. Not good enough to monetize with the creator, but certainly good enough to put adverts on so that Google and YouTube make money. But anyway, that's by the by. So last week when I looked at my stats, it said I need 3,000 hours. And I was like, holy shit, that's really motivating. Then the news came out and it said, no, you've got to get 8,000 by February or November. And I thought, fuck, okay. I have got plans and I've already shot some for other videos. They are there, but my output is not good enough. So I don't think I'm going to make those 8,000 hours to get back in. Sorry, 3,000 hours to get back in. But I'm going to try. So before I go a little bit on a negative tangent, I am optimistic that I can do it. But it involves folding my other channel and all of its videos into the JonathanJK channel. Originally, I created the second channel because it's about a specific interest. But if no one's watching my main channel and not enough people are able to find the other channel, then I'm just going to put them back into one and see what happens. So going forward, there will be a mixture of videos from that channel that I've transferred over and then new Hong Kong related videos to try and boost my numbers and get back into the program. Why is the program important? Well, I wouldn't mind some reoccurring revenue on the side while I'm living and working in my real life. And that's also the reason why I haven't focused on the channel, because when I was making videos, it wasn't getting any views. So if I've taken all day to travel around here, it's sweating, or I'm sweating, sorry, carrying all my gear, shooting it, and then I take 2 or 3 days to edit it, and then I get 50 views for that effort. I'm not owed views, don't get me wrong, I'm not owed the views, but I get 50 or 100, and after 3 months I'll get 120, but the cold hard reality hits you in the face. This is not a productive use of my time. I've got to put my time into something that is going to pay the rent, and that is the English teaching, or another channel that I work behind the scenes for as a video editor. And here's some extra insight. That other channel is coming up to 9,000 subscribers, and they have 21,000 hours of watch time. So they're definitely in the program, and they're definitely going to make the requirements in the new program. In fact, they're grandfathered in. They only have to make 4,000 hours anyway until the heat death of the universe. But the earnings on that channel for 8,000 subs and 21,000 hours of watch time at the moment is $80 US. That's quite a hurdle. That's a lot of effort that I have to get through, to churn through, to grind through in order to remonetize my channel. And part of me is saying, is that actually worth it? I said I'll be getting negative, but part of me is optimistic, and then the channel would grow, and then I would get more reoccurring revenue. But at the moment, English teaching and video editing for somebody else puts the money on the table, or puts food on the table, so to speak. And I don't have time, sadly. And I know people aren't watching because I can see the analytics. And there are, of course, better channels out there. YouTube, you see, there's a contradiction. YouTube says long form is back in. That's why we see a lot more long form videos now. But they also create shorts. And I think shorts are just complete brain rot. But a lot of people are making shorts. And that requires time and attention, which is kind of clever because YouTube have upped that requirement to try to kneecap the AI slop channels that can just churn out tons and tons and tons of videos. And also people who walk around and do really tacky interviews to say, you know, like the ones where the guy goes to another guy, hey, do you think he's gay? And he's like, yeah, he's pretty gay. And then they'll ask, well, do you think that people will think you're gay? And he's like, no. And then they show him a photo of that first guy and they'll say, do you think he's gay? And he's like, yeah. You don't watch shorts, how do you know? I've seen them on Twitter. But it's stuff like that that YouTube want to clear the house with, which is fine, but it will also kill a ton of niche channels. And that's kind of not fair. But life isn't fair, is it? And I'm not saying I have aspirations to be really hugely successful. I just would like to have some reoccurring revenue, and that would act as a motivator to just keep putting out videos. But every time I get some time to myself and want to do something on YouTube, YouTube then goes and says, now we're making it harder for you. So there you go, crack on. And the first time they upped the requirements was when they were literally beheading videos on YouTube. They would go viral, and then people would collect the money, and then they would collect before YouTube or Google cancelled their account. So they put that requirement in, so no beheading video would actually do any damage to the brand. But even beheading videos, you can't churn those out, can you? But AI, that's a whole different thing. So it's harder for them to just let it sit there and then collect money, whereas there are other creators who are trying their damnedest to produce something of quality. Now, the upside is if you do get into the YouTube Partner Program, and there are fewer channels in the program because there's hundreds of thousands that just don't work at that level, then more people who are the paid creators will get more money. So that's great for them. But for someone like me who wants to balance real life with the YouTube life, it could be the end of the road. So that's why I'm folding in the channels, and you're going to see more videos. I'm going to try and upload every day to get that other channel closed so that I can focus on one channel while doing other things, because I'm not doing YouTube for charity. The other videos that I do with my friend, that's just to keep in contact with him and have some fun. So monetizing them isn't the priority. And it's always good to have that North Star. Why do you want a YouTube channel to begin with? If you just want to make money, then you're just going to grind and not do it for authentic purposes or authentic reasons. Whereas I've already stated my reasons. I would like some reoccurring revenue, and then I'd like to have some fun with my friend for the other channel. But that's still a lot of effort, isn't it? And if I'm not getting paid for it, then come February, I'll just focus on just talking with my friend. And Hong Kong can be for other YouTubers, which there are the other YouTubers who are covering this city. And hey, no one misses out, right? I don't, because I'm going to make my money and pay the rent, and you guys don't have to be, interrupted by notifications for when I release a video that you're not going to watch. Let's be serious here. Let's be honest. I make them, you don't watch them, either because of the algorithm or because you're not interested anymore, but you don't have the heart to unsubscribe. So I would suggest that you do unsubscribe if you're not interested in what I'm going to do. At least then that subscriber number doesn't give me false hope, because a lot of people are impressed by the 3,000 subs, but to me it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything if they're not watching. It's the watch time that I need, not the subscribers. So this is not a rant. I'm not crashing out. It's just the reality of the situation. And the world is in this state of being ever increasingly monetized, and we can all decide whether to stay on that treadmill so that everything becomes monetized. And I mean things that are innocuous as even ordering takeaway. Before, you just ring up the shop. In the old days, kids, you just ring up the shop. Hey, I'd like these, please, and they deliver it. Oh, there's a small surcharge. Okay, fine. Now you go download an app. There's a QR code in the restaurant. Everybody wants a transaction fee, a digital fee. Then the delivery driver wants a fee, or the tip, as the Americans call it. And the whole process is stacked against you. But YouTube is also that way. Apps with subscriptions are that way. And we have the power. I mean, oh my God, why are you talking like Nelson Mandela or Obama? I'm not. I'm just simply saying that at some point you have to realize that everything's monetized, only money matters, and that's what I'm partly speaking about. And time is also important, and you've got to make that calculus. Okay, well, what is it? What are you going to do? Are you going to do it for fun? Are you going to do it for money? Or are you going to earn an actual living with a real job so that you have something in your retirement? So collectively, we're already making a decision. I'm making a decision to try. You're going to make a decision to possibly watch. YouTube is going to make a decision as to whether the algorithm is going to play ball with me, and then we'll see where the chips may fall. Okay, thanks for watching this far. This is a bit longer than the first draft. I managed to say everything in 5 minutes, but with practice, I get to make it longer and add a little bit more context to this whole situation. So that's why the video, looking on the clock here, is now 11 minutes. Thank you for watching.